You sit there, scrolling through a polished screen, thinking you've reached the peak of evolution. Reality check. You are just a battery, being drained by shiny gadgets and fake needs. Modern comfort is a velvet cage designed to turn your gray matter into lukewarm oatmeal. This world feeds you illusions, while your natural instincts rot in the basement. I'm pulling the plug on this simulation. Stay with me if you want to see how deep the rabbit hole of marketing lies goes. Smash that like button and subscribe to escape the matrix. Let's dissect the civilization together. Fact number 1. Morning coffee, a liquid whip for your exhausted internal horse. The corporate world paints a picture of a sharp professional sipping motivation. You think you are a high-performance machine while gulping that dark gold. Reality check. You aren't gaining energy. You are just muting the biological low-battery warning. Inside that mug sits caffeine, a molecule that acts like a squatter in your brain. It blocks adenosine receptors, which signal that you are tired. Your nervous system starts a forced overclocking, squeezing your adrenal glands like a dry sponge. Your internal biological engine is actually overheating and grinding its gears without any oil. Your neurons are dancing on a burning floor, and you call it morning vibes. Ever wondered if you are the pilot or just the jittery passenger? This is not a fuel upgrade. It is a chemical payday loan with huge interest. Coffee is to energy what a credit card is to wealth. You are a twitching puppet. Take a sip of my sparkling water while we watch your heart perform a frantic drum solo for nothing. Fact number 2. Infinite scrolling, a digital slot machine for your shriveled focus. They sell you the dream of staying connected and informed. You feel like a modern explorer of information while your thumb moves like a robotic piston. I have news for you. Your brain is being treated like a lab rat in a maze. The interface is designed to trigger unpredictable dopamine spikes, mirroring the mechanics of a casino. Each swipe sends a microsurge to your prefrontal cortex, causing a structural thinning of your attention span. Your cognitive gears are being stripped of their teeth until you can't focus on a single page of a book. It is a digital erosion of your will, turning your personality into a fragmented mess of short-term impulses. Are you still here, or did your brain already leave the building? This isn't a tool for communication. It is a psychological leash made of pixels. Scrolling is to wisdom what licking a picture of a cake is to nutrition. You are not browsing. You are being harvested. Let the godfather of algorithms approve your wasted afternoon. Fact number 3. High heels. Structural sabotage masquerading as elegance. The fashion industry sells you the illusion of status and grace. You think you look like a Hollywood star while your skeleton is screaming in agony. Let's look at the blueprint. You are placing your entire weight on a tiny point, forcing your center of gravity forward. This creates a cascade of mechanical failures from your ankles to your neck. Your calf muscles undergo chronic shortening, becoming stiff as old leather. The psoas muscle gets tightened, pulling your spine into a distorted curve that resembles a collapsing bridge. Your toes are crushed in a leather vise, leading to permanent structural misalignment. This is not beauty. It is a voluntary orthopedic disaster. Do you enjoy walking like a broken tripod? It is like trying to drive a car with wooden wheels and wondering why the suspension is shot. High heels are to movement what a straitjacket is to a dance. You are paying for the privilege of turning your joints into gravel. It is a slow-motion wreck in a fancy box. Fact number 4. Blue light screens, a photonic lobotomy for your sleep cycle. Marketing tells you that you can work or play anytime, anywhere. You think you are a master of your schedule while staring at the glowing rectangle in bed. The truth is, your biology is being hijacked by a fake sun. The specific frequency of blue light hits your retinas and sends a false signal to the pineal gland, halting the production of melatonin. Your internal clock is thrown into a chaotic spin, like a compass near a magnet. Your brain thinks it is high noon while the world is silent. This leads to a state of permanent gray sleep, where your neurons never truly refresh. Your cognitive engine starts to rust from the inside because the cleaning crew never showed up. Are you proud of your dark circles and your foggy thoughts? This is not a technological miracle. It is a circadian rhythm wrecking ball. Using a screen at night is to rest what a siren is to a lullaby. You are just a biological glitch in a digital world. Hold my energy drink. We are losing our minds. Fact number 5. Air conditioning, an atmospheric sedation for your inner animal. They promise you the perfect climate, a constant spring in your living room. You feel like a pampered god, while the thermometer stays at 22 degrees. Here is the mechanical failure. Your body loses its ability to thermoregulate. Your metabolic rate drops because your internal furnace doesn't need to work anymore. The constant dry air erodes the moisture from your mucous membranes, leaving your biological filters brittle and cracked like an old desert road. Your immune system becomes a lazy security guard who fell asleep on the job. You are living in a plastic bubble that detaches you from the pulse of the planet. Do you actually think you are stronger in this sterile cage? This is not comfort. It is a metabolic paralysis. Air conditioning is to resilience what a wheelchair is to an Olympic runner. You are trading your survival instincts for a cool breeze that makes you soft and fragile. It is a thermal trap for the weak. Don Corleone would never agree to live in a fridge. Fact number 6. Fast fashion, a textile straitjacket for your moral compass. Brands draw a picture of a trendy, ever-changing identity. You feel like a style icon every time you spend $20 on a new shirt. Reality check. You are wearing a chemical cocktail. These garments are often treated with heavy metals and formaldehydes to keep them from wrinkling during shipping. Your skin, the largest organ you have, absorbs these synthetic residues like a sponge. The fibers are so weak they start to disintegrate after 3 washes, clogging your home with microplastic dust. It is a structural failure of quality designed to keep you in a loop of endless consumption. Your wardrobe is a graveyard of low-grade polymers. Do you really like the smell of cheap factory fumes in the morning? This is not a personal expression. It is a fast food version of clothing. Fast fashion is to style what a cardboard house is to architecture. You are dressing yourself in trash and calling it a trend. It is a wardrobe-sized bankruptcy. My beer is getting warm while you browse for more polyester garbage. Fact number 7. Noise-canceling headphones, an auditory isolation chamber. They sell you the bliss of silence in a loud world. You feel like the protagonist of a movie while the city disappears. Let's peel back the layers. You are creating a sensory vacuum that confuses your vestibular system. Your brain relies on environmental echoes to map the space around you. When you delete that data, your spatial awareness begins to atrophy. You become a ghost in your own environment, disconnected from the physical reality of your surroundings. Your ears are being fed anti-noise waves that put your auditory nerves in a state of constant, invisible tension. It is a digital wall that isolates you from the very world you live in. Have you noticed how clumsy you become when the music stops? This is not peace. It is a sensory amputation. Noise canceling is to hearing what a blindfold is to a sunset. You are turning yourself into a floating head in a void. It is a psychological solitary confinement that you pay for. Supporting my beer, I can't hear your excuses through those expensive muffs. Fact number 8. Vitamin supplements, a nutritional theater for the gullible. They paint a picture of a glowing, invincible version of you. You feel like a health guru while swallowing a dozen colorful pills. Reality strike. You are mostly producing very expensive urine. Most of these synthetic compounds have a bioavailability near zero because they lack the complex food matrix your body expects. Your liver has to work overtime to filter out the fillers, binders, and artificial dyes used to make those tablets look pretty. It is a chemical overload that creates a false sense of security. You think you can eat junk as long as you take your magic pill. Your internal plumbing is being clogged by limestone and processed cellulose. Are you still convinced that health comes from a plastic bottle? This is not nutrition. It is an industrial byproduct marketed as a miracle. Supplements are to health what a sticker of a flame is to a real fire. You are trying to build a skyscraper with toothpicks and glue. It is a pharmacy-grade delusion for the lazy. Fact number 9. Office chairs, a structural skeleton flattening device. Marketing promises ergonomic bliss and productivity. You think you are a high-value asset while sitting for 8 hours straight. The truth is, your body is literally folding in on itself. Your gluteal muscles undergo amnesia, forgetting how to support your spine. Your internal organs are being squeezed into a tight space, slowing down your digestion to a crawl. The blood flow in your legs becomes as stagnant as a swamp. Your hip flexors tighten until they pull your pelvis into a permanent tilt, creating a mechanical chain reaction of pain. This is a slow-motion structural collapse disguised as a professional necessity. Do you enjoy the feeling of your spine turning into a question mark? This is not a seat. It is an ergonomic torture rack. Sitting is to your body what rust is to a vintage car. You are parked in a garage while your engine rots. It is a cubicle-shaped grave for your vitality. Even a folding chair would respect your posture more than this luxury throne of stagnation. Fact number 10. Scented candles, an olfactory smog in a jar. They draw a picture of a cozy, relaxing sanctuary. You feel like a Zen master while your room smells like ocean breeze. Reality check. You are huffing paraffin wax and phthalates. When burned, these candles release soot and volatile organic compounds that settle deep in your lungs. It is an indoor air quality disaster that mimics the exhaust of an old bus. Your olfactory receptors are being hammered by synthetic molecules that disrupt your endocrine system. Your brain is getting mixed signals from fake flowers and artificial vanilla while your oxygen levels drop. It is a chemical masquerade for a dirty room. Do you really think linen mist is cleaner than actual fresh air? This is not an atmosphere. It is a scented smokescreen. A candle is to freshness what a perfume bottle is to a shower. You are turning your bedroom into a miniature chemical plant. It is a slow, fragrant suffocation. My beer is still cold, unlike your overheated and polluted lungs. Are you breathing yet? Fact number 11. Daily hot showers, a microbiome erosion protocol. They sell you the dream of being squeaky clean. You feel like a refreshed deity while the hot water melts your stress away. Here's the disgusting truth. You are stripping your skin of its natural defense system. You are washing away the beneficial bacteria that keep your skin's pH balanced. The boiling water dissolves the lipid barrier, leaving your skin cracked and thirsty. Your body responds by overproducing oil, creating a greasy loop that forces you to wash again. It is a biological sabotage designed by soap companies to keep you buying more lotion. Your skin becomes a barren wasteland where bad bacteria can move in without resistance. Do you like having skin that feels like dry parchment? This is not hygiene. It is a dermatological, scorched earth policy. A hot shower is to skin health what a pressure washer is to a fine oil painting. You are scrubbing away your armor and calling it self-care. It is a liquid betrayal of your own biology. Fact number 12. Plastic bottled water, a liquid microjunk delivery system. Marketing shows you a pristine mountain spring. You think you are hydrating with the purest element on earth while holding that clear bottle. Reality strike. You are drinking a chemical tea steeped in plastic. As the bottle sits in warehouses, microparticles of polyethylene terephthalate leach into the water. You are essentially seasoning your hydration with tiny bits of trash. These particles enter your bloodstream and settle in your tissues, causing a low-grade internal friction. Your kidneys have to filter out stuff that shouldn't be in a biological organism. It is a logistical nightmare sold as a convenience. Are you still paying for something that falls for free from the sky just for the plastic flavor? This is not a beverage. It is a slow-motion environmental and physical glitch. Bottled water is to purity what a landfill is to a garden. You are drinking a liquid lie that will outlive your great-grandchildren. It is a overpriced bottle of disappointment. Don Corleone wouldn't drink this tap water in a suit. Fact number 13. Alarm clocks, a neural jumpstart for the stressed. They promise you a punctual, organized life. You think you are a disciplined go-getter when that buzzer goes off. The reality is a violent interruption of your brain's natural maintenance cycle. Your heart rate spikes instantly, and your body is flooded with a fight or flight response before you even open your eyes. It is a daily trauma that prevents your brain from completing its final REM stage, where emotional processing happens. You start your day in a state of neurological debt, with a brain that feels like it was hit by a sledgehammer. This leads to chronic irritability and a cognitive fog that no amount of coffee can clear. Do you enjoy having your soul ripped out of your body by a beep? This is not a tool for success. It is a psychological cattle prod. An alarm clock is to sleep what a car crash is to a drive. You are waking up like a startled animal every single day. It is a rhythmic violation of your peace. Hold my beer while you snooze for the 5th time. Fact number 14. Toothpaste, an abrasive facade for your enamel. They show you a blinding white smile in every commercial. You feel like a movie star while scrubbing your teeth with that minty foam. Here is the grit. Most toothpaste is loaded with silica, which is basically fine sand. You are literally sanding down your enamel every morning and evening. The whitening agents are often just harsh abrasives that remove the protective layer, making your teeth more sensitive over time. Then there is the sodium lauryl sulfate, the stuff that makes it foam, which can irritate your gums and cause mouth sores. It is a cosmetic illusion that sacrifices long-term structural integrity for a temporary sparkle. Do you like the idea of your teeth becoming as thin as eggshells? This is not dental health. It is a slow-motion polishing of a disappearing surface. Toothpaste is to teeth what sandpaper is to a mahogany table. You are cleaning your house by taking a layer off the walls. It is a foaming deception in a tube. Fact number 15. Social media validation, a dopamine debt for the insecure. They sell you likes as a measure of your worth. You feel like a king when that notification bell rings. Reality check. You are outsourcing your self-esteem to an algorithm. Your brain becomes addicted to the variable reward schedule, similar to a person playing a slot machine. When the likes don't come, your cortisol levels rise, creating a state of social anxiety. Your identity becomes a performance, a digital mask that hides your real, messy self. You are constantly comparing your behind-the-scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. This creates a permanent sense of inadequacy that erodes your mental foundation. Are you still checking your phone every 3 minutes like a thirsty pigeon? This is not a community. It is a psychological vanity mirror that distorts your reflection. Social validation is to confidence what a sugar rush is to a healthy meal. You are chasing a ghost in a machine. It is a digital hollow victory. Let the godfather of clout approve your new selfie while your soul stays empty. Fact number 16. Grocery store music, a subliminal pacing for your wallet. They play chill vibes to make you feel at home. You think you are just browsing the aisles in a good mood. The truth is a calculated psychological manipulation. The tempo is carefully chosen to slow your walking pace, making you spend more time in the store. The longer you stay, the more impulse buys land in your cart. Your brain is lulled into a mild trance state where your critical thinking takes a back seat to the rhythm. It is a sonic trap designed to loosen your grip on your budget. They are literally hacking your heart rate to match the background beat. Do you feel like a smart shopper while dancing to a song you don't even like? This is not entertainment. It is an auditory fishing net. Store music is to shopping what a siren song is to a sailor. You are being steered toward the high-margin items by a catchy hook. It is a rhythmic robbery of your common sense. Hold my beer, I'm leaving before the chorus. Fact number 17. Elevators, a gravity avoidance program for the lazy. They promise you comfort and speed in the concrete jungle. You feel like a modern inhabitant of a high-tech hive while the doors slide shut. Here is the mechanical failure of your body. You are skipping the most basic functional movement for your lymphatic system. Climbing stairs is like a pump for your legs, moving fluids and strengthening your heart. By taking the lift, you are letting your leg muscles turn into soft marshmallows. Your bone density suffers because you are avoiding the healthy stress of gravity. You are living in a world of vertical shortcuts that leave you horizontal in the long run. Do you really think saving 2 minutes is worth losing your physical edge? This is not a luxury, it is a movement deprivation chamber. An elevator is to fitness what a remote control is to a marathon. You are transporting your body like a piece of luggage instead of using it. It is a motorized descent into frailty. Don Corleone would take the stairs just to stay sharp. Fact number 18. Online shopping. A digital hoarding habit for the bored. They offer one-click happiness delivered to your door. You feel like it's Christmas every Tuesday when the boxes arrive. The reality strike. You are trying to fill an emotional void with cheap polymers and cardboard. The anticipation phase releases more dopamine than the actual product ever will. Once the box is open, the thrill vanishes, leaving you with a pile of stuff you didn't need and a smaller bank balance. It is a cycle of acquisition that clutters your physical space and your mental clarity. Your home becomes a warehouse for abandoned hobbies and impulsive decisions. Are you still scrolling for deals while your closet is bursting at the seams? This is not a retail therapy, it is a consumerist feedback loop. Online shopping is to fulfillment what saltwater is to thirst. You are buying a temporary distraction from your own life. It is a logistics-based addiction. Support my beer while you wait for your next useless package. Fact number 19. Healthy granola bars. A sugar camouflage protocol. They paint a picture of mountain climbers and fitness enthusiasts. You feel like an athlete while snacking on a natural bar. Reality check. You are eating a candy bar with a better PR team. These things are often held together by high fructose corn syrup and loaded with dehydrated fruit that is basically just gummy bears. The fiber they boast about is often a synthetic additive that your gut doesn't know how to handle. You are spiking your insulin levels and setting yourself up for a mid-afternoon crash. It is a metabolic bait and switch. Do you really believe that something wrapped in plastic with a shelf life of 2 years is fresh? This is not a snack. It is a processed fuel leak for your body. A granola bar is to nutrition what a gold-painted rock is to a nugget of gold. You are eating a sugary lie and calling it a workout. It is a health-conscious hallucination. My beer has more integrity than your oatmeal treat. Fact number 20. Multitasking. A cognitive friction generator for the busy. They sell you the image of a high-powered, efficient multitasker. You feel like a genius with 10 tabs open and a phone in your hand. The reality is, your brain is physically incapable of doing 2 things at once. You are just task-switching rapidly, which creates a massive amount of neural friction. Every switch leaves a residue of the previous task, slowing down your processing speed. You are essentially redlining your brain's engine while stuck in neutral. This leads to a permanent state of shallow thinking and a massive increase in errors. Your memory becomes a leaky bucket because you never focus long enough to store the data. Are you proud of being busy while accomplishing nothing deeply? This is not efficiency, it is a mental scatter bomb. Multitasking is to focus what a blender is to a jigsaw puzzle. You are turning your intellect into a smoothie of distractions. It is a high-speed crash into mediocrity. Hold my beer, I'm doing one thing at a time. Fact number 21. Hand sanitizers, chemical sandpaper for your biological shield. They sell you the image of absolute safety in a dirty world. You feel like a surgical professional every time you squeeze that clear gel onto your palms. Reality check. You are applying an industrial-grade solvent to your skin. Most of these gels contain 70% ethanol or isopropyl alcohol, which doesn't just clear away grime, it acts like a biological scorched earth policy. Your skin's natural lipid barrier is dissolved, leaving your hands as dry and cracked as an old wooden porch in the desert sun. These microscopic fissures are like open doors for every irritant in the city. You are stripping the paint off your house just to keep the dust off the walls. Do you enjoy having hands that feel like rough sandpaper? This isn't hygiene. It is a structural sabotage of your first line of defense. Inside the bottle, synthetic carbamers create a sticky film that traps dead skin cells, turning your hands into a weirdly textured mess. Your microbiome is being reset to 0, which is like firing your entire security team because you were afraid of one fly. Hand sanitizer is to skin what acid is to a marble statue. You are melting your protection and calling it safety. It is a chemical illusion for the paranoid. My soda is getting warm while you scrub your life away. Are you feeling sterile yet? Fact number 22. GPS navigation, a cognitive crutch for your shrinking brain. They promise you will never be lost again. You feel like a high-tech explorer while following that blue dot on your screen. The reality is that your internal navigation system is undergoing a massive structural shutdown. Your hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for spatial memory, is literally losing its gray matter density because you stopped using it. It is like a muscle that turns into jelly because you decided to use a wheelchair for every 10-meter walk. You are losing the ability to build mental maps of the world around you. Your brain becomes a passive observer instead of an active pilot. Have you noticed how you can't find your own way home if your phone battery dies? This is a digital erosion of your survival instincts. Using GPS for every trip is to your intellect what a calculator is to a math genius who forgot how to add. You are outsourcing your consciousness to a satellite, while your cognitive gears are stripping their teeth. It is a navigational bankruptcy. Tony Stark wouldn't let a screen tell him where to turn. Do you still know which way is north? Or are you just a passenger in your own life? Fact number 23. Low-fat snacks. A maltodextrin trap for your metabolism. Marketing draws a picture of a slim, healthy body enjoying a guilt-free treat. You feel like a fitness model while eating zero-fat cookies. Here is the mechanical failure. When companies remove fat, the food tastes like wet cardboard. To fix this, they pump the product full of sugar and maltodextrin. This white powder has a glycemic index higher than table sugar, causing your insulin to spike like a heart rate in a horror movie. Your body isn't getting fuel, it is getting a biochemical shock. This process leads to rapid fat storage around your internal organs, which is the exact opposite of what the label promised. Your metabolism is being tricked into a state of high-alert confusion. Are you still falling for the light label while your energy levels are crashing into the floor? This is not health food. It is a highly engineered metabolic glitch. Low-fat snacks are to nutrition what a cardboard cutout is to a real house. You are eating a sugary lie and calling it a diet. It is a culinary bait and switch. Hold my burger while you finish that plastic cookie. Fact number 24. Bright street lighting, a photon bombardment for your hormones. They sell you the image of a safe, modern city that never sleeps. You feel secure under the glow of 1,000-watt LED lamps. Reality check. You are living in a permanent state of biological noon. This intense blue spectrum light hits your retinas and tells your brain that the sun is still up. Your production of melatonin is suppressed, preventing your cells from performing their nightly maintenance and repair. Your body stays in a state of low-grade stress, like an engine that never gets turned off. This light pollution erodes your sleep quality and turns your circadian rhythm into a tangled mess of wires. Do you like waking up feeling like you were hit by a truck every single morning? This is not progress. It is an atmospheric violation of your sleep cycle. Streetlights are to your rest what a siren is to a quiet library. You are living in a photonic cage that prevents your brain from ever reaching a state of deep recovery. It is a luminous trap for your nervous system. Even a lighthouse would be less intrusive than this. Fact number 25. Public hand dryers, a bacterial hurricane in a box. They promise a green, touchless way to dry your hands. You feel like you are using a jet engine for hygiene. The truth is disgusting. These machines are essentially high-speed dispensers for every germ in the restroom. The intake vents suck in the air from the room, which is filled with aerosolized particles from the toilets. The machine then blasts this concentrated cocktail of filth directly onto your warm, damp skin. It is a technological delivery system for everything you just tried to wash away. Your hands end up with more biological hitchhikers than when you started. Do you really want to be covered in a fine mist of public restroom air? This is not a modern convenience. It is a localized weather event of grime. A hand dryer is to cleanliness what a leaf blower is to a pile of dust in your living room. You are just moving the mess around and making it airborne. It is a pneumatic disaster for your health. Support my drink while I look for some paper towels. Fact number 26. Continuous news feeds. A cortisol drip for your sanity. They sell you the idea of being a well-informed citizen. You feel smart while scrolling through endless headlines of global chaos. The reality strike. Your brain is not designed to process every tragedy on the planet in real time. This constant flow of negative information keeps your amygdala in a state of permanent hyperarousal. Your body is dripping cortisol into your system like a leaky faucet, which slowly erodes your immune response and your ability to think clearly. You are not informed. You are just being kept in a state of manageable anxiety. Your cognitive focus is being shattered into a million tiny pieces of useless data. Are you still checking the news every 20 minutes like your life depends on it? This is not journalism. It is a psychological treadmill designed to keep you clicking. A news feed is to wisdom what a loud noise is to music. You are drowning in a sea of manufactured fear. It is a digital state of emergency for your mind. Don Corleone wouldn't worry about every barking dog in the world. Fact number 27. Smartwatch sleep trackers, an anxiety loop for your bedtime. Marketing promises you the ultimate data for your health. You feel like a high-performance athlete while checking your sleep scores every morning. Here is the mechanical error. Checking your data actually creates orthosomnia, or anxiety about getting perfect sleep. When the watch tells you that you had a poor night, your brain triggers a stress response that makes you feel more tired than you actually are. You are letting a cheap sensor in a plastic strap dictate your physical reality. The data itself is often inaccurate, as these devices can't truly measure brainwaves or deep REM cycles. You are worrying about numbers that might be completely wrong. Do you really need a gadget to tell you if you feel rested? This is not a health tool. It is a digital leash for your subconscious. A sleep tracker is to rest what a stopwatch is to a romantic dinner. You are turning a natural process into a stressful performance. It is a wearable glitch for your peace of mind. Hold my beer. I'm taking a nap without the internet. Fact number 28. Binge-watching culture, a mental marathon of stagnation. They offer you infinite stories at your fingertips. You feel like you are in a golden age of entertainment while sitting for 6 hours on the couch. The reality is a total shutdown of your creative faculties. Your brain enters a passive absorption mode where your imagination is completely bypassed. This level of sedentary behavior slows your blood circulation, causing your leg veins to pool and your metabolism to enter a state of hibernation. Your dopamine receptors are being fried by the constant hooks and cliffhangers designed to keep you from pressing stop. You are essentially a biological battery being drained by a streaming service. Have you noticed how numb and empty you feel after a whole season? This is not relaxation. It is a sensory overload that leaves you hollow. Binge watching is to culture what a feeding tube is to a gourmet meal. You are consuming without tasting and living without moving. It is a cinematic coma for the masses. My drink is getting flat while you watch another episode of nothing. Fact number 29. Synthetic air fresheners. A phthalate fog in your living room. They promise a home that smells like a Tahitian breeze. You feel like a luxury homeowner while spraying that chemical mist. Reality check. You are inhaling a cocktail of phthalates and volatile organic compounds. These chemicals are designed to coat your nasal passages and block your ability to smell anything else. It is a physical numbing of your senses. These molecules are known endocrine disruptors that can mess with your body's natural signaling systems. You are essentially living in a cloud of scented plastic. Do you really think a spray can replace the smell of actual fresh air? This is not a fragrance. It is a biological mask for a lack of ventilation. An air freshener is to a clean house what a heavy coat of paint is to a rotten wall. You are hiding the truth with a layer of chemical noise. It is a fragrant violation of your internal organs. My beer smells better than your fake mountain air. Are you still breathing that plastic? Fact number 30. Memory foam mattresses, a chemical sponge for your spine. Marketing shows you sleeping on a cloud of high-tech foam. You feel like you are in a space-age sanctuary when you sink into the bed. Here is the structural failure. Memory foam is made from polyurethane and various isocyanates that can release gases into your bedroom. This is called off-gassing, and it means you are breathing in the manufacturing process while you sleep. Additionally, the foam acts like a giant heat sink, trapping your body heat and preventing your core temperature from dropping. This prevents you from reaching the deep stages of sleep required for brain detoxification. Your spine is also cradled into a static position that prevents the natural micro-movements your joints need to stay lubricated. Do you enjoy waking up feeling like you are stuck in a mold? This is not comfort. It is a chemical trap for your skeleton. A foam mattress is to a bed what a swamp is to a running track. You are sinking into a pile of synthetic waste. It is a bedroom-sized structural disaster. Fact number 31. Disposable vapes, a synthetic lung fog for the modern boredom. They sell you smooth flavors and a safer alternative. You feel like a tech-savvy rebel while puffing on a plastic stick that smells like blue raspberries. Reality check. You are inhaling a heated mixture of propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin directly into your delicate lung tissues. This creates a fine mist that can coat your internal air sacs in a sticky film, making oxygen exchange less efficient. The natural flavors are complex chemical compounds that were never designed to be heated to 400 degrees and inhaled. Your respiratory system is being treated like a test lab for a candy factory. Do you like the idea of your lungs becoming as tacky as a movie theater floor? This is not a hobby. It is a mechanical failure of your breathing apparatus. Vaping is to air what a smoke machine is to a clear day. You are paying to clog your internal filters for a 5-second head rush. It is a disposable trap for your health. Hold my water, I'm breathing actual air. Fact number 32. Subscription surprise boxes, a consumerist clutter protocol. They promise the excitement of a gift every month. You feel like a VIP while unboxing a pile of curated junk. The reality strike. You are paying a monthly fee to receive products you would never have bought on your own. It is a brilliant way for companies to offload excess inventory onto people who think they are getting a deal. Your home becomes filled with limited edition trinkets and samples that eventually end up in a landfill. This habit creates a psychological dependency on the new, eroding your ability to appreciate what you already have. Are you still paying for a box of stuff you don't use? This is not a service, it is a subscription to clutter. A surprise box is to shopping what a mystery meat sandwich is to a menu. You are buying a pig in a poke and calling it a lifestyle choice. It is a financial and physical weight on your life. My beer is too busy being useful to fit in your tiny box of trash. Fact number 33. Software blue light filters, a digital placebo for your eyes. They promise you can stay on your computer all night without damaging your eyes. You feel like a health-conscious professional because your screen is slightly orange. Reality check. The night shift mode only filters a small portion of the blue spectrum. The primary issue is the near-work strain of staring at a fixed point for 12 hours. Your eye muscles become locked in a state of permanent tension, leading to a breakdown of your natural focus. The brightness and the flickering of the screen still suppress your melatonin, regardless of the color. You are essentially putting a tiny band-aid on a broken leg. Do you really think an orange tint makes your 16-hour gaming session healthy? This is not a solution. It is a psychological excuse to stay addicted to the glow. A blue light filter is to eye health what a low-tar label was to old cigarettes. You are still damaging the hardware, you're just doing it in a different color. It is a digital hallucination of safety. Fact number 34. Antibacterial mouthwash, a microbiome napalm for your breath. Marketing shows you a refreshing, clean feeling that lasts for hours. You feel like a dental god while swishing that stinging blue liquid. Here is the biological glitch. That alcohol-based wash is essentially napalm for your mouth's ecosystem. It kills the beneficial bacteria that help produce nitric oxide, a molecule crucial for your blood pressure regulation. By sanitizing your mouth, You are actually increasing your risk of cardiovascular issues and destroying your natural defense against bad breath. Once the good guys are gone, the opportunistic bacteria move back in even faster, creating a worse smell than before. Do you enjoy having a mouth that is as sterile and dead as a hospital floor? This is not hygiene. It is an oral ecological disaster. Mouthwash is to your breath what a bulldozer is to a flower bed. You are destroying the garden to get rid of one weed. It is a foaming deception that leaves your body vulnerable. Don Corleone would just chew some real parsley and move on. Fact number 35. Grocery self-checkouts, an unpaid labor stress protocol. They promise speed and convenience so you can skip the lines. You feel like a master of efficiency while scanning your own bread. The truth is, you are performing unpaid labor for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. The process is designed to be frictionless, but the constant, unexpected item in bagging area alerts create microspikes of cortisol and frustration. You are taking on the cognitive load of a job you aren't being paid for, which erodes your sense of leisure and community. It turns a social interaction into a robotic task that leaves you feeling more isolated and drained. Are you proud of being an unpaid cashier for the grocery store? This is not progress. It is a corporate strategy to reduce labor costs by using your time and energy. A self-checkout is to shopping what a do-it-yourself restaurant is to a chef. You are paying full price to do the work yourself. It is a psychological and economic robbery. Hold my beer. I'm waiting for a real person to talk to. Fact number 36. Facial filters on apps, a digital mask for your self-worth. They show you a perfect version of yourself with smooth skin and big eyes. You feel like a celebrity while posting that edited photo. Reality strike. You are creating a perceptual gap between your digital avatar and your physical reality. Every time you look in a real mirror, your brain registers a failure because you don't look like the filtered image. This leads to body dysmorphia and a permanent state of dissatisfaction with your natural appearance. You are essentially wearing a digital mask that hides your humanity. Do you really want to live in a world where everyone looks like a smooth-skinned alien? This is not a fun tool. It is a psychological wedge that detaches you from your own body. A filter is to beauty what a coat of plastic wrap is to a piece of fruit. You are hiding the life and the character for a fake, static glow. It is a visual bankruptcy of the soul. My beer has more personality than your edited face. Fact number 37. Fast charging technology. A high heat fever for your battery. They promise full power in 15 minutes. You feel like a high-tech wizard while your phone zaps back to life. Here is the mechanical failure. Fast charging pushes a massive amount of current through the lithium-ion cells, creating internal heat that degrades the chemical structure of the battery. It is like forcing a person to run a marathon at full sprint without a warm-up. This heat stress causes the battery to lose its capacity much faster, leading to a planned obsolescence that forces you to buy a new phone sooner. You are trading long-term durability for a few minutes of convenience. Are you proud of your phone being as hot as a frying pan? This is not a miracle. It is a thermal assault on your hardware. Fast charging is to a battery what a sugar rush is to a toddler. It is a high-speed crash disguised as an upgrade. It is a logistical trap to keep you in the store. Hold my phone, it's about to melt through the table. Fact number 38. Electric scooters. Atrophy on two small wheels. They sell you the image of a cool urban commuter. You feel like a futuristic traveler while zipping down the sidewalk. The reality is, you are skipping the most basic physical activity of your day: walking. By using a motor for a 5-minute trip, you are letting your stabilizing muscles in your core and ankles wither away. Your sense of balance becomes lazy because the machine is doing the work for you. You are also creating a new layer of micro-stress as you navigate traffic on a tiny, unstable platform with no protection. This is a movement deprivation device disguised as a transit solution. Do you really think you look cool while standing perfectly still on a piece of plastic? This is not micro-mobility. It is a sedentary lifestyle on wheels. An electric scooter is to walking what a microwave is to a home-cooked meal. You are losing your physical edge for a lazy shortcut. It is a motorized descent into weakness. Don Corleone would walk the streets like he owns them. Fact number 39. Speed reading and speed listening, an information puree. They promise you can consume a book a day and stay ahead of the curve. You feel like a genius while listening to a podcast at 2 times the speed. The reality is your brain is only performing surface-level decoding without any deep integration. You are not learning, you are just being bombarded with noise. The nuance and rhythm of the language are lost, which prevents your brain from forming long-term memories or emotional connections to the material. You are turning wisdom into a digital puree that passes through your mind without leaving a trace. Are you proud of finishing a book you can't even remember the title of? This is not efficiency, it is an intellectual bypass. Speed listening is to knowledge what a blender is to a steak dinner. You are swallowing the calories without ever tasting the food. It is a cognitive shallowing of the highest order. My beer is meant to be sipped, just like a good idea. Take a breath and slow down. Fact number 40. Ergonomic vertical mice, a wrist sabotage for the cubicle. Marketing promises a natural grip that prevents pain. You feel like a high-tech office athlete with that weirdly shaped plastic hump on your desk. Here is the structural failure. While it might change the angle of your wrist, it often forces your shoulder and elbow into a locked, static position to compensate. You are just moving the stress from one joint to another. The vertical grip can also lead to more clutching behavior, where you grip the mouse tighter than necessary, leading to tension in your forearm muscles. It is a mechanical band-aid for the fact that you are clicking a button 10,000 times a day. Do you really think a new shape is going to fix a lifestyle of stagnation? This is not a health device. It is an ergonomic gimmick for the desperate. A vertical mouse is to your arm what a fancy crutch is to a broken leg. You are managing the symptoms instead of changing the habit. It is a plastic distraction from your physical collapse. My hand is too busy holding a beer to care about your vertical mouse. Fact number 41. Economy class air travel, a flying sardine tin for your circulatory system. The travel industry sells you the dream of being a global citizen, soaring through the clouds to exotic destinations. You feel like a sophisticated explorer while boarding that giant metal bird. Reality check. You are being vacuum sealed into a pressurized tube with the legroom of a dollhouse. Inside the cabin, the air pressure is kept at the equivalent of an 8,000-foot mountain, which causes the gases in your intestines to expand like a balloon. Your blood flow becomes as sluggish as cold molasses because your legs are locked in a 90-degree angle for hours. The air is recycled and bone dry, turning your respiratory membranes into cracked parchment. This is not a journey, it is a high-altitude detention. Have you noticed how your ankles look like stuffed sausages after a long haul? This is a mechanical failure of your vascular system disguised as a vacation. Air travel is to comfort what a trash compactor is to a luxury suite. You are paying to be cargo that can complain. Hold my soda, I'm walking to the next continent. Fact number 42. Non-stick cookware, a chemical slippery slope for your digestion. They paint a picture of a perfect, easy clean kitchen where eggs slide around like Olympic skaters. You feel like a professional chef while flipping pancakes on that dark, glossy surface. Here is the toxic grime. That coating is often made of polytetrafluoroethylene. When you overheat the pan, the molecular bonds start to fray, releasing invisible fumes that can mimic a heavy flue. Your body doesn't have a delete button for these synthetic particles. They settle into your tissues like uninvited guests at a party. It is a structural sabotage of your internal chemistry for the sake of not scrubbing a pan for 2 minutes. Are you really that allergic to a bit of dish soap? This is not a technological miracle. It is a convenience-based, slow-motion contamination. Non-stick is to cooking what a coat of plastic paint is to a gourmet steak. You are seasoning your food with industrial waste. It is a culinary bait-and-switch that would make a chemist blush. My beer is staying in the glass, far away from your Teflon fumes. Fact number 43. Designer handbags, a one-sided structural wrecking ball for your spine. Marketing draws a picture of high-status elegance and organized living. You feel like a fashion icon while swinging that 5-pound leather brick on your shoulder. Reality strike. You are creating a massive asymmetrical load that forces your spine to curve like a mountain road. Your trapezius muscle is under constant, agonizing tension, leading to a mechanical lockout of your neck and shoulders. Your nervous system has to constantly recalibrate your balance, leading to a state of chronic muscular fatigue. It is a voluntary orthopedic disaster hidden behind a luxury logo. Do you enjoy having one shoulder permanently higher than the other? This is not an accessory. It is a stylish torture device for your skeletal alignment. A heavy handbag is to your posture what a flat tire is to a sports car. You are dragging your status through the mud while your joints turn into gravel. It is a retail-grade spinal misalignment. Don Corleone would tell you to carry your own weight properly or not at all. Fact number 44. Smart Home Assistants, a glitchy digital leash for your privacy. They promise you a house of the future where your every whim is granted by a voice. You feel like a tech lord while telling your lights to turn purple. The reality is that you have installed a permanent, always-on microphone that feeds your domestic habits into a corporate data cruncher. Your private conversations are sliced into keywords and sold to the highest bidder to better manipulate your next purchase. It is a psychological occupation of your sanctuary. Your brain becomes lazy because you can't even flip a switch without digital permission. Are you still talking to a plastic cylinder like it's your best friend? This is not smart living. It is a voluntary surveillance program. A smart assistant is to privacy what a glass house is to a changing room. You are trading your autonomy for the ability to not move your thumb. It is a digital surrender of your home's soul. Support my drink while I find the manual light switch in the dark. Fact number 45. Energy drinks, a liquid short circuit for your heart rhythm. They sell you the image of extreme sports, glowing neon vitality, and limitless focus. You feel like a superhero while cracking open that cold, chemical-scented can. Reality check. You are flooding your system with a massive dose of synthetic caffeine and taurine that acts like a lightning strike to your nervous system. Your adrenal glands are pushed into a state of emergency mode, causing your blood vessels to constrict and your heart to perform a frantic, irregular drum solo. It is a metabolic overdraft that you will have to pay back with a massive crash and a foggy brain. Your kidneys are working overtime to process the artificial dyes and preservatives that have no place in a human body. Do you like the feeling of your hands shaking like a leaf in a storm? This is not a boost. It is a biological red line. An energy drink is to your health what a nitro boost is to an old engine. It looks cool until the pistons fly through the hood. It is a canned cardiac gamble. My water is looking real good right now. Fact number 46. Liquid pump soap, a bacteriological scorched earth policy in a bottle. They promise total protection and a fresh scent for your family's hands. You feel like a hygiene expert every time you press that plastic pump. The reality is that many of these soaps contain harsh surfactants and synthetic fragrances that strip your skin of its natural acid mantle. You are creating a biological desert on your palms, where only the most stubborn, resistant germs can survive. Your skin becomes dry, irritated, and susceptible to microscopic tears. It is a chemical overkill for a problem that simple, old-fashioned fats could solve. Are you still trying to sterilize a living organ? This is not cleanliness. It is a dermatological blitzkrieg. Liquid soap is to your skin what a power washer is to a delicate silk dress. You are melting your biological armor and calling it safety. It is a foaming trap for the germophobic. Hold my beer. I'm using a bar of real soap like a man of the woods. Fact number 47. Virtual reality headsets, a visual hallucination mask for your balance. They offer you a ticket to infinite worlds and total immersion. You feel like a pioneer of the metaverse while strapped into that plastic visor. Here is the mechanical glitch. Your eyes are telling your brain you are flying, but your inner ear is telling your brain you are standing in a basement. This sensory mismatch creates a state of neurological confusion that leads to nausea and a lingering reality hangover. Your eyes are forced to focus on a screen inches away while tricking them into seeing depth, which erodes your natural ocular flexibility. You are essentially teaching your brain to ignore the physical world. Do you enjoy feeling like you're on a boat while sitting on your couch? This is not a frontier, it is a digital vertigo machine. VR is to experience what a dream is to a memory. It feels real until you wake up with a headache. You are becoming a ghost in a simulation. Don Corleone prefers to see his enemies in 3 actual dimensions. Fact number 48. Daily contact lenses, a plastic seal for your eye's respiration. Marketing shows you the freedom of clear vision without the burden of glasses. You feel like a bionic human while poking that thin plastic film onto your eyeball. Reality strike. You are placing a physical barrier over your cornea, which has no blood vessels and relies on direct contact with the air to breathe oxygen. This leads to chronic hypoxia, causing your eye to grow tiny, abnormal blood vessels to try and save itself. It is a structural invasion of your most sensitive organ. If you don't clean them perfectly, you are essentially trapping a bacterial colony against your lens for 16 hours. Do you like the idea of your eyes suffocating in a plastic wrap? This is not a visual upgrade, it is an ocular, slow-motion siege. Contact lenses are to eyes what a plastic bag is to a plant. You are sacrificing your long-term corneal health for a bit of vanity. It is a transparent deception. My glasses are on the table, and my eyes are breathing just fine. Fact number 49. Drive-through culture, a motorized feeding trough for your laziness. They promise hot food in seconds, without you even leaving your seat. You feel like a king being served in your chariot while idling in a line of 15 cars. The reality is a concentrated pocket of carbon monoxide and stale grease. You are sitting in a sedentary slump while your brain enters a passive consumption trance. The food is engineered to be swallowed quickly, bypassing your body's satiety signals. It is a logistical victory for the corporation and a total physical defeat for you. You are essentially being fed like livestock in a metal box. Have you noticed how you feel like a wet towel 10 minutes after eating that convenient meal? This is not a dining experience. It is a metabolic drive-by. A drive-through is to nutrition what a gas station is to a fine vineyard. You are refueling your body with low-grade sludge because you're too busy to walk 20 steps. It is a motorized descent into stagnation. Support my drink while I actually use my legs to find real food. Fact number 50. Probiotic marketing, a sugary fermentation fairy tale for your gut. They draw a picture of happy bacteria dancing in your stomach to keep you slim. You feel like a health-conscious genius while sipping that tiny, expensive yogurt drink. Reality check. Most of those live cultures are already dead by the time they hit the shelf, and the ones that survive are often annihilated by your stomach acid. To make the sour bacteria palatable, the company pumps the drink full of sugar or artificial sweeteners, which actually feed the bad bacteria you were trying to get rid of. It is a microbiological bait and switch. You are essentially paying for a shot of sugar water with a fancy story. Do you really believe a tiny plastic bottle can fix a diet of processed garbage? This is not medicine. It is a fermented marketing gimmick. A probiotic drink is to gut health what a single drop of rain is to a forest fire. You are chasing a trend while your internal ecosystem is screaming for real fiber. It is a sugary illusion of wellness. Fact number 51. The digital nomad lifestyle. A Wi-Fi dependent homelessness for the bored. They sell you the dream of working from a beach and absolute freedom. You feel like a revolutionary of the modern age while typing on a laptop in a humid hammock. Reality strike. You are becoming a rootless consumer with no community, no stability, and a permanent anxiety about the strength of the local internet signal. Your freedom is actually a tether to a digital master that follows you to the ends of the earth. You are eroding the boundary between work and life until your entire existence is a series of content moments for social media. This leads to a deep, structural burnout that no amount of coconut water can fix. You are a tourist in your own life. Are you still convinced that happiness is a different zip code and a faster upload speed? This is not a breakthrough. It is a psychological evasion of reality. Being a digital nomad is to a home what a hotel room is to a family. It looks nice in photos, but it has no heart. You are a wandering ghost in a globalized machine. Don Corleone knows that a man without a home and a base is a man without power. You've sat through 51 facts of pure, unadulterated reality. If your brain hasn't short-circuited yet, you might just have a chance at escaping the velvet cage of modern civilization. Knowledge is the only weapon that doesn't run out of batteries, so start using yours. Stop being a passive battery for the corporate grid and start questioning the shiny lies they feed you. If you want to keep peeling back the layers of this digital illusion, you know what to do. Put your mark on that like button, subscribe to the channel of truth, and share this with someone who is still sleeping in the Matrix. Wake up,